There are three main ways to prepare matcha as koicha, usucha, and a latte, and I'm going to show you how to make all of them today. If you're new here, welcome. My name's Michelle and I love matcha. I have a series called Matcha Mondays where I post a short form video every Monday about something matcha related, a recipe, reviews, or something educational. So if you love matcha, you're in the right place. So for the three ways to prepare matcha, I'm first going to talk about koicha, then we'll get into usucha, and then a latte. So, in the Japanese tea ceremony, traditionally, you would drink koicha and usucha. Lattes are a much newer and more modern way to drink matcha, but typically in the Japanese tea ceremony, or chado in Japanese, you would start off by drinking koicha, which is thick tea. Koi means thick or concentrated, and cha means tea. And the beginning of the tea ceremony is like the most formal time, and having this like really intense matcha kind of shows your respect to the ceremony, to the host, and to the matcha. It is not something that you would drink every single day. You would drink this on like very rare occasions. In fact, like tea ceremonies in general as well are a very rare occasion. Like Japanese people hardly ever do tea ceremonies. Nowadays, it's more of like a hobby. Even I rarely ever drink koicha. I'll sometimes drink it if I'm like testing a new matcha powder and I'm just like curious to see if it would do well as koicha. This is where the quality of the matcha really makes a difference, because if it's like a lower quality matcha, it's going to be really bitter, really astringent, and it's just going to be difficult to drink. So that's why usually only like the highest quality matcha powders are used for koicha. But high quality doesn't necessarily mean expensive. So now let's make the koicha. And I'm going to be using this one by Aya Matcha. This is their ceremonial grade matcha. I found this at my local grocery store. It's also on Amazon for those of you that want an Amazon option, but it's also very affordable, especially for the quality. But this one really surprised me because I enjoyed it so much as an usucha and a latte that I tried it as a koicha and it was really good. So here's what the color looks like. It's a really nice, deep, vibrant green. So the usual measurements for koicha are 4 grams of powder and 40 milliliters of water. I usually do 3 grams of powder and 30 milliliters of water though, mainly because I just want to make my matcha powders last as long as possible. So I'm going to sift it into my chawan to get rid of any potential clumps. And now I'll add 30 milliliters of water at 170 degrees Fahrenheit. Then I will whisk this using my chasen. And here is our koicha. It is super thick, as you can see. So let's try it. Wow, okay. It is bitter and grassy as matcha is, but there is this sweetness to it and this creaminess to it that I really like. And it's not astringent like some matchas are. For a lot of other matchas, there's this dry puckering sensation. That's what you call astringency, which I do not like. But this one doesn't have that. It's also got a good amount of umami in there, very bold, and it's just overall quite pleasant to drink actually. So if you want to try koicha, try this one. Now let's move on to usucha, or thin tea. Usui means thin, cha means tea, and during the tea ceremony, this would be enjoyed towards the end. This is where things are a bit more relaxed, so you would enjoy the matcha in a more chill way. So this is the matcha that I'm going to be using. This one was gifted. This is my current favorite one to use for usucha, and this is Daylight Matcha's Tranquility. Here's the color. It's a beautiful, vibrant green color again. And for usucha, a common recipe is 2 grams of powder with 70 milliliters of water. So I'm going to add 2 grams of powder. Sift it again to get rid of any clumps. And then I'm going to add 70 milliliters of water at 170 degrees Fahrenheit. There's a lot more water in here, so it's much more drinkable for every day. Then I'm going to whisk this for about a minute. I usually whisk in a zigzag W motion. This helps to incorporate the matcha powder into the water a bit better. And now we have our usucha. Let's try it. Oh my gosh, so good. The flavor is much more gentle compared to koicha, but this matcha has that earthiness that I love about matcha. It's a little bit umami, a little bit nutty, it's creamy. It has a strong flavor. The texture is also very smooth. There's like no astringency, and the bitterness is like very, very low. Like on a 1 to 5 scale, it's like definitely a 1. I've tried it as a latte as well, and I really enjoy it as a latte too, but just on its own as an usucha with some hot water is my favorite way to enjoy this matcha. And lastly, we're gonna make a latte. You can make it iced, you can make it hot. Today, I'm gonna be making an iced matcha latte because that's my personal favorite way to enjoy them. And for today's matcha, I'm gonna be using this one. This is Mizuba Tea Co.'s signature matcha. And check out that color. It is also a really nice green. This is like a culinary grade matcha. A lot of people think culinary grade means low quality, but that is not the case at all. This is such a good, like, high quality matcha, but it's basically just like marketed more for like other uses. Like on the back it says perfect for lattes, baking, and more. It was also gifted to me, but again, all opinions are my own. So for a latte recipe, everyone has different ratios that they use. I like a really strong matcha flavor in mine. I also don't like to use too much powder. Like, I think 3 grams is the perfect amount, and I don't like when my lattes are too milky or too watery. So this is my perfect matcha latte ratio. 3 grams of powder, 30 milliliters of water, and 80 milliliters of milk. So I'm gonna take 3 grams of powder, 30 milliliters of water, and whisk it the same way. Wow, this one I'm getting a really strong tea aroma, like a sweet green tea aroma. For this one, I'm actually gonna add my milk into the chawan and mix the milk and the matcha together. A lot of times I'll take my cup, fill it with ice, pour the milk, and then add the matcha on top so that there's layers. But lately I've been enjoying just pouring my matcha and my milk together and then pouring it into my cup. It just looks so satisfying. So I'm gonna add 80 milliliters of milk. I prefer oat milk, but you can use any milk you want. I like this one because it doesn't overpower the matcha flavor. Then I'll fill my cup all the way with ice, and this is, I believe, about 12 ounces. Now let's pour in our matcha. How satisfying was that? And let's try it. So good. You can definitely taste the matcha through the milk. The flavor is also very tea forward. It's a little bitter, a little astringent. It's a little bit umami as well. It's not the sweetest, but it's okay because the milk that I use already has a little bit of sweetness to it. I also didn't add any additional sweetener. I usually don't because I like to enjoy the matcha as it is, but you can always add some if you want. So those were the 3 ways to prepare matcha. Let me know which way is your favorite. I'm also going to link everything that I used in the description box, so check that out. Subscribe for more matcha content, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!